Hello and welcome to the final round of the Man on Fire Films Toribash tournament. It's been a great run. We've seen some fantastic plays, some risky gambits, some joy, some sadness, and some heartwarming sportsmanship. But now, at long last, we have our two final contestants. Two players who have fought tooth and nail to be here tonight. Let's take a look at how they got here. After a close but well-earned victory against Demo Killer in round 3, our first finalist pulled out all the stops in round 10 with a decisive 2-0 victory against Tunris. And after a struggle to the bitter end, he knocked out Seronix in the semi-finals to rightfully earn his place in tonight's match. He knows how to put up a hell of a fight. It's Zeto. And facing off with him tonight, making a great first impression with a very quick 2-0 victory in round 8 against Darkfire 36, our second finalist followed it with one of the closest and most hard-fought battles of the entire tournament. But with exactly the right amount of skill, he pulled a miraculous 3-2 victory against Colors in round 12. And in a shocking turn of events, he managed to knock out QgzLUm, a fan favourite to win, in a spectacularly close victory, solidifying his well-earned place in these finals. He's here to impress. It's Murdastick. But only one can stand victorious, so without further ado, let's get to it. And here we have it. Guys, there's no point me even trying to contain how excited I am about this round, so I'm just gonna let it be one. We have Murdastick versus Zeto in the final round of the Man on Fire Films Toribash tournament. A little bit of a jump there. Now, servers on Toribash have been really funny lately, so we're kind of expecting to see some ping-outs. I hope we don't, but prepare for that. It's taken a while to set this round up, as you guys have probably noticed, considering the gap between last round and this round. Now, we have an 8th Dan Black Belt versus the Buttmasters. Let's see how they open this. Okay, we have Murdastick starting to recognize skins, which is at long last. Murdastick going for the pretty standard kick, and Zeto going for what looks like a defensive play. Would have probably say playing defensive in this final round would be the wiser move, but again, we've seen, again, this is one of those rounds where I'm not even going to try and predict what the players are going to do, because, hell, they're about 5 steps ahead of me, and I get to watch the game. Although, I will say Murdastick is definitely at a disadvantage here. Luckily, he still has his left arm, which I imagine he's going to use to catch himself, but Zeto with a command of this round right now. Murdastick has kind of been tripped up very early on in the match. This could be a very grave error for him. He's done a grave error, but as predicted, he catches himself with his left hand and is now kind of trying to throw Zeto a little bit, but I imagine, considering Zeto's holding onto his knee there, it would be very easy for Zeto to tap Murdastick out using his knee, although Murdastick has not gone quietly into the night by using his left hand to counter that. Not counter it, but to balance himself out. Again, I'm excited. My words aren't working. I can't wait to see how they follow this up. Oh, Murdastick appears to be pulling this almost back around a little bit for himself now. He's got his right leg on the floor as well as his left hand, so he's not really going to go out as easy as it looked. And he can always let go of Zeto's... Oh, wait, no, he can't. Zeto has grabbed his elbow. That is going to be probably his downfall. The fact that his left hand... left to right? Right, as we're looking at it, is grabbed by Zeto. Although Murdastick now not at such a big disadvantage as he was at the start of the game. He's within the first turn. He does appear to have pulled this back around a little bit. He could now pretty easily turn Zeto over, although I imagine Zeto's probably preparing for that this round. Again, these players are 5 steps ahead of me. I can't imagine how many steps they are above each other. Zeto letting go there to go into some kind of, I guess, safety flip. He's going to get his hands underneath himself and also his leg to make sure that Murdastick can't put him into the ground. Murdastick dislocated what looks like his penis there. I can't really tell. I guess it's one of his glutes. It's either his glute or his hip. It's quite hard to tell. Let me detach the camera and take a look. Yeah, that looks like a glute. So he's dislocated his glute. Missed the turn there. Zeto flipping around now, keeping his legs free to catch himself. We have Murdastick kind of balancing, although it does look like his head's about to tap himself out. Luckily, he's regained control of his right hand as we're looking at it. Left hand to him from behind, I guess. Really hard to tell. Too excited to focus on it, but he can catch himself with his other hand now, which probably means he's not going to tap out with his head as long as he's careful, which he's done. Got his hand there to catch himself. Oh my god, these guys are flipping around the arena like no one else. I still have no idea which player is going to win here. I mean, if it goes to points, Murdastick is in the lead only slightly, 7,000 points ahead of Zeto. That's not a lot. Zeto can pull this easily back around with a quick kick or punch. Although it does look like Murdastick's knee... No, never mind. I spoke too soon, as is standard. does now look like Zeto is at the disadvantage. Murdastick appears to have almost completely flipped this back around. The only thing Zeto has going for him right now is the grab on the knee, although his hand there would make for a very, very swift grab on Murdastick's left leg. That is a crippling grab if Zeto can make it, but he does put himself at a big disadvantage. Decided to not go for the grab and meet on Murdastick's right leg. Just taps out of the arena, and it's 1-0 to Murdastick. Now, this particular round, the final round, is best of 7. So first to 4 wins will win. We'll have a total of 7 rounds if it comes to that. The person to get 4 wins first will win. This round goes to... No, wait. Sorry, I typed that wrong. Zeto wins. Zeto. My bad. Oops, just typed 1-0 to Murdastick. That's 1-0 to Zeto, not 1-0 to Murdastick. So... I've done that before in the tournament, but I feel like this round of all, I should be definitely making sure the players aren't confused, because they need to be on form. Now, that was a very close round. I mean, Murdastick was kind of fighting a losing battle from the start there, but we can clearly see a lot of skill there, him putting up the fight that he did. I imagine he's going to play this a little bit more defensively. Yeah, a little bit more defensively than his last round. He's not going to go all balls out like he did before, and that's clearly what he's done. He's definitely looking to counter whatever Zeto has done. Zeto going for a similar, very safe, very defensive opener, and I think now we're going to see both players try to kind of almost reverse each other's counter, if that makes sense. Almost like take advantage of the fact that the other player's playing defensive, and I think we're going to see both players trying to put themselves into a position of dominance, although neither one is really letting the other one do that. We've got sort of symmetrical grabs on the hands. Zeto appears to be keeping his legs more free than Murdastick, but Murdastick could easily lean over and kind of push Zeto into the ground, but I imagine that tactic is probably not going to work on a player like Zeto. Murdastick might actually be going for a jump here. I mean, I mean, if he can pull it off, that would be great, but it's definitely a risky maneuver. It's really easy to manipulate somebody when they're in the air. I can't imagine he'll be going for the jump. That would be a risky and an impressive maneuver if he can pull it off, but I wouldn't take that risk if I'm being honest. But let's see if he's going for it. No, he's played it safe. Not gone for the jump. Definitely the wiser moves. Held both his knees there to make sure that he doesn't leap into the air. Zeto is definitely the type of player who can manipulate that very, very easily. It's a very good job that he didn't go for that jump there. Unless he thought he could have pulled it off. I mean, we've seen stuff like that happen in this tournament. We've seen crazy maneuvers really, really work out. Let's see how they follow this up. Okay, despite his best efforts, Murdastick is now in the air, although Zeto might actually be a little bit off balance there if Murdastick kind of presses his weight onto him. But it looks like Zeto's in the type of position where he can easily reverse that. He can flip that over, spin that over. He can do a lot of things to Murdastick now that he's in the air. Murdastick would do wise to extend his knees here, yeah. Although it does look like Zeto now has the manipulation advantage of being able to just throw Murdastick around like a ragdoll. But again, the type of caliber player that Murdastick is, he could reverse that very easily. He could turn that to his advantage. If he's anticipating Zeto to throw him, he could easily reverse that by either going completely limp or turning away from it, which I think we're about to see, very, very much so. Turns into Zeto's attempt to throw him, and now does look like he's at an advantage of being able to literally just fall on top of Zeto and tap him out. Although a risky maneuver, both players' heads, according to the ghosts, will be close to the ground. But neither one of those players is probably going to let that happen. We're probably going to see another. Oh wow, that was quick. We have a 2-0 advantage to Zeto. I did not expect that to be over so quick. We have a 2-0 advantage to Zeto. Zeto reverses that, and you'll have to forgive me for using that word, but that was very, very skillfully done. Clearly outwitted Murdastick on that particular round. Not really sure what either player was going for at the end, but I guess Zeto did because he managed to turn it. Very, very well played on Zeto's part there. I think Murdastick's going to have to pull something completely new out of the bag if he wants to stand a chance of beating Zeto at this point. Zeto's defensive opener is a very defensive player. That just works so well for him. Murdastick is going to have a bit of a job getting past that, to be fair. But I imagine he's probably going to come with something completely new for this. Something that we've not seen before. And there we have a risky opener, to say the least. But it's something that Zeto will not be expecting. And I'm sure Murdastick can turn that to his advantage. But you got to give him the guts to pull off something like that. I mean, to attempt that in such a late stage of the tournament takes balls. And that's something that I'm sure is probably going to pay off. All right, wow. That was a very unprofessional use of the word alright there. Left hip dislocated, fractured. Murdastick's left elbow also fractured. That's going to hurt him. The elbow and the hip, both very unfortunate fractures. But Murdastick does, I wouldn't say he's at an advantage, but it's still a very unique opener. It's something we've not seen. So, oh my, wow. I don't know if that was part of the plan, but, well, I guess that hip really threw him off there. So still 2-1 to Zeto, but that might have been a very tactical play there. I mean, the hip is the reason the knee touched the ground there. Zeto had no ability to lift his knee any further than he had. Maybe if he'd extended his knee there, it might have worked out a little bit better for him. But that is a very, well, I mean, hey, he dislocated the hip with that grab. Can't say maybe it wasn't part of the plan. Who knows? Zeto lolling at the situation and a little bit of a tongue poke there. 2-1 to Zeto. Murdastick possibly making a comeback. Who knows? Zeto's locked his turn very early. He locked it way before the halfway point there. That could be an accidental spacebar or could be all part of the plan. Who knows? I think we're about to find out as it goes into the first couple of frames. Zeto going for his very basic, very standard opener we've seen him pretty much universally use here. Again, I have no idea why he'd want to change it. It's worked so well for him so far. But Murdastick probably very much aware of the defensive play now. And considering what happened in the second round, he's probably not going to play defensive himself because he knows Zeto can counter that. He's now probably going to take the strategy of just going really balls out, and that's clearly what he's doing here. I'd say he might be at a disadvantage with his right leg in the air like he does, but he could probably just bring that down to kick Zeto into the ground. Risky maneuver again. Such a high caliber player is probably not going to fall for that kind of trick. But you never know. You never know what the other player's thinking, and both players need to be aware of that. How are they going to follow it up? Murdastick not really gone for the kick. He appears to be trying to almost lock Zeto's leg with his other leg, but I can't imagine he'd be going for that. That's not a very useful thing to do, if I'm honest. Yeah, I wouldn't really say either player had a strict advantage here. We've got Zeto with his back to the ground, which is never a good thing, but I imagine he'll be doing his best to bring that back around. Appears to be trying to throw Murdastick out of the arena here, which, honestly, I mean, I don't know if that's going to work. He's probably going to hit the ground before he manages to throw Murdastick. I imagine Murdastick's going to be doing something in the way of trying to reverse that, trying to maybe counter-spin it, but, well, again, Zeto really knows what he's doing with these backwards throws. He's done a lot of them throughout the tournament. Murdastick needs to watch his elbow there. You'll have to excuse me for that. I'll probably cut the audio of that because I'm probably very loud. Murdastick needs to watch his elbow there. That is gonna tap him out. This could be a tie, but according to the ghost, the head and the elbow are going to hit the ground. Oh no, there we have. Zeto wins 3-1 to Zeto. Match point. Okay, this is match point. If Zeto wins this round, he will win. Murdastick has to win the next 2 games to win to the final round. This is not boding well for Murdastick, honestly. But who knows? He could pull this back around. I'm surprised that wasn't a draw. It looked like they were touching very... No, I take that back. It was clearly the elbow first. It looked like it when I was coughing. Who knows? Okay, so this is match point. We could have our winner right here, right now, if Zeto wins. Or if Murdastick can pull this back around, we could go into... Well, I hope we get to the 7th round, personally. Murdastick probably going to be playing defensive this round, in the most defensive he can ever play, because he knows this is match point. If he scuffs this up, this is it. Murdastick definitely playing defensive there, not even keeping his legs firmly planted on the ground. Definitely the smart thing to do. Again, this is everything to play for. If Zeto can win, then that is it, and he will win the prize and go on to be champion of the first Man of 5 Films Toribash tournament. But I don't think Murdastick's going to go down that easy. We've seen him do some spectacular things throughout this tournament. I think we're about to see something like that coming up just now. Right now. Man, words. I'm excited. I can't think of good words to say. I'm just talking, just wanting to watch the rest of this tournament. Murdastick, he's got his knees in an awkward position there, but it's definitely an offensive move. He's clearly trying to get out of that defensive thing he started with. Oh, he needs to watch the back of his legs there, or that is going to really hurt him. That is so dangerously close to the ground. He needs to go defensive here. He can't expect to pull off something that risky when you're fighting a player like Zeto. This is a risky maneuver. All he needs is back of his shin touches that, he is out. And pulls it back around Zeto in the air, very much almost in the air. The only thing touching the ground is his toes, and that is not going to help him. But Murdastick, with his back to the ground like that, is going to have a hard job turning this back around on Zeto. At least his feet aren't that close to the ground. He's managed to pull that back at least, but he's still at a disadvantage with Zeto on top of him like that. Although Zeto's arms have, well, he's got the grab advantage. Okay, there's a lot of dislocations here. We have Murdastick's left shoulder. Sorry, I forgot what that was called. It's a shoulder jack. Well done. We have one of Zeto's pecs dislocated. We have a hand dislocated. We have another hand dislocated. A lot of dislocations, and you've seen throughout this tournament, if you get someone dislocated, that can very much hurt you when you need it the most. Oh my god, okay. So we have both players' elbows very close to the ground. It does look like Zeto's, with the momentum and the spin that they're currently in, it does look like Zeto's are going to tap the ground first. Murdastick needs to watch that though, because Zeto is going to do his best to try and turn that back around. Both players are now locked in what looks like a permanent grapple. I don't think either player is really getting out of that. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, in an unexpected turn of events, they both decided to take to the skies rather than stay in the grapple. Does look like Zeto could easily be put out on this. Murdastick with the advantage here. He's kind of manipulating Zeto in the air, but Zeto could turn this back around. Murdastick needs to be aware of that. Murdastick can't be careless about this round turn. He has to be careful. Oh, good God! Both players' legs looks like they're about to tap out, but it looks like Murdastick is gonna go first. We're rapidly running out of frames here, and I don't think Murdastick can get his leg back in. I think his best hope is to contract it and hope that Zetos taps out before he does. I'm out of words. I don't know how they're gonna follow this up. Oh my good God! Murdastick manages to get his leg just back in the ring, and Zeto taps out. 2-3, still to Zeto, still match point, but Murdastick with a spectacular win, with just getting his toes back on the inside of that arena. My God, I did not expect that, and I don't think Zeto did either. I think he thought that one was in the bag, but Murdastick turns it back around. Oh, that's a very, very good win. We go into the 5th round. Murdastick wins 2-3 match point. Murdastick has to win this round as well, or he's still going to go out to Zeto. If he wins, we go into the 7th and final round. And Zeto's definitely going to be on edge now. That was a very good win by Murdastick. He played it very, very well. I imagine Murdastick's going to go for the same strategy as before, play opening very defensive and then switching to an offensive, although Zeto will probably be expecting that now, so he needs to mix up his strategy. Zeto's not the type of player who'll fall for the same strategy twice in a row. Wow, I ran out of air there. Whew, Zeto going for a very similar opener, the same sort of thing he usually goes for. Very, very rarely varies it up, but sometimes he'll go for the spin. This time he hasn't. Murdastick, tempted, well, looks like he's going for a kick, but that's a risky maneuver. He does not want to be thrown off balance this early on, because Zeto will just take advantage of that and completely ruin you. Zeto going for a slightly more offensive thing than we've seen before. He's contracting his knees, which is something that he tends not to do in the second game, so maybe he's now feeling the burn and is going offensive. Both players with a firm plant of their feet on the ground, although according to the ghosts, it looks like Zeto's about to go up into the air, but you guys know how untrustworthy those things are. I'd say Murdastick does have a slight advantage here. If it's nothing but a weight advantage, you kind of spin Zeto onto the ground, although that's probably not going to work. Again, such a high caliber player, Zeto's probably not going to fall for that. Okay, we have both players in, well, I guess a weight grapple here. Now the player's really wanting to jump into the air. They're just going to try and push each other over. But again, these are very, very high caliber players, so I imagine both players are working very, very hard to try and turn this back around. I don't think they're going to stay in the death grapple for very long. I imagine we're about to see some very unique spins, and we'll see if that's true. Very, very much so. Zeto's attempting to lift Murdastick, assumably over his head. Now this is something Zeto has done very successfully throughout the tournament, but Murdastick managed to put the reverse on him in the last round. Can he make the magic work again, or is he going to completely turn this around on Zeto? I don't know, we're about to find out though. Let's see how they follow this up. I can't see any dislocations yet, although that's really only a matter of time with these players. Murdastick at a disadvantage now, his left leg kind of held by Zeto. He's really not going to be able to get that back out to save him. Zeto grabbing his arm, so that's not going to be able to help him that much. He's trying to lower his shoulder, but I imagine Zeto's not going to let him do it. Really attempting to just tap at his hand on the side of the arena. Murdastick really has to do something unique this round, or he is going to go out. And we have something unique, although I think it might be too little too late. He is going to have a difficult job turning this back around. I think we are about to see Zeto with the win, but I've seen miracles happen before, and hell, I've seen Murdastick pull off miracles. Just checking for any dislocations. I can't. Oh, we have a pec dislocated on Zeto, and what looks like nothing dislocated on Murdastick. I think there we have it. Zeto pulls this out in a 4-2 victory against Murdastick. Zeto is the winner of the first official Man on Fire filmed Toribash tournament. That is a very hard-fought battle, and Murdastick put up one hell of a fight. But the decisive winner of the first Man on Fire filmed Toribash tournament is Zeto. Massive, massive congratulations to him. My condolences to Murdastick, but they both fought very well to be here. That was a great match, and I'm very, very, very happy with it. So, very good sportsmanship from Zeto there. So there we have it, guys. That's going to wrap up this tournament. I thank you very much if you watched it from the start. Needless to say, it has been a lot of fun. And, well, you can go back and watch Murdastick and Zeto's progression to this final. The final of the Man on Fire Films Toribash tournament. I've enjoyed every minute of it, guys. I hope you have. We'll be doing a new tournament pretty soon. We'll take a little break because we've been doing these on, working pretty hard at it. So... yeah, that's going to wrap it up. That's the end of the Man on Fire Films Toribash tournament. We will have an interview with the winner and the runner-up, Zeto and Murdastick, in the next week or so. So stick around for that. That'll be kind of like a post-event thing that you guys should totally check out. I really hope you've enjoyed this, guys. It's been a lot of fun for me. I hope it's been fun for you. I'm Jack Morris from Man on Fire Films, and I shall see you soon, everybody. Goodbye.